Oh wow, look at this beautiful thumbnail. I don't need to play 2 hours in Photoshop to make a fake thumbnail. It's just a part of the video. But folks, these are the new baits from Trout Magnet or Leland lures called Crappie Magnet ROO. I finally received them the day before yesterday. I ordered them a long time ago, but I know everything was very late around the holidays. My own orders, I had one order that was 1 month late, and it still arrived just 1 month late. But yeah, the day before yesterday I received them, and yesterday I already went out fishing with them. I caught a bunch of fish with them. There are videos coming up with these lures. Today we're not gonna talk too much about fishing, a little bit about fishing, but mostly I just wanna show you these lures. I already have some of them installed in my tackle box. This is what I used yesterday for fishing. Actually, I used just this color and this color yesterday, but I caught a bunch of fish, and the lures still look perfect after catching at least 50 fish just on video. But I'm gonna put the camera in the camera holder now, and I'm gonna show you each of these colors, the packaging, the slap bites that are designed to go inside of them. And then at the end, I will say a few words about my initial impressions of them. Okay, first of all, let me quickly show you the packaging because this is the first time I see this packaging. I think the packaging is used in some other products, but I don't use the other products, so this is the first time I see this packaging. Now, the name of this lure is Crappie Magnet ROO. And I will tell you right away, this is a unique lure. And I have always appreciated novelty. Novelty, folks, is to create something new. And sadly, this is very rare in the American fishing industry. The entire American fishing industry is about ordering from China a cheaper version of something that somebody else already created. There is just very little novelty. If you want to find novelty, usually you have to go to Japan. The stuff sold in United States is all about copying and stealing somebody else's design. So here we have actual novelty, which I'll show you in a second. This is a unique lure, but why not put the name ROO with big letters on the packaging? As a matter of fact, the word ROO is nowhere to be found on this entire packaging. You will not find the word ROO on the package. Now you're gonna find it here on the label, but the label is not a part of the package. The label you can print and you can stick on any package, but I'm just surprised that such a unique lure, why are you not proud? Put some big ROO letters here on the package. The lures now sit in this plastic bed inside of the nylon bag. And this new packaging, actually I don't think it's new, I think it is shared with some other lures, but I have never used those other lures. But anyway, this packaging attempts to fix an old pet peeve of mine. Let me show you how the lures sit in the packaging when they're perfectly positioned. I just perfectly positioned these by hand to show you how they are supposed to sit. If everything is perfect, they do look very beautiful, don't they? I always hated the way the 50 pieces of trout magnet come in this nylon bag, and 45 of them would come with the tails crooked or wrinkled or however you want to call it. And I would always take all of the pieces out of the nylon bag. I would place them perfectly straight somewhere and then press them, and then I would use them 1 month later just to make sure that when I fish, everything has a perfectly straight tail. Now this attempts to do this, and everything looks perfect when it's perfectly installed. But I don't know, I think the plastic bed should have been just a little bit deeper, maybe a little bit wider, because I don't know how many boxes, not boxes, but packs I ordered. Out of the 30 bags, I'll show you, you'll see not one pack came with the tails, just so you believe me, perfectly straight. So at the end of the day, if you have OCD like me, you're gonna want to take them out, position them straight, and then carefully put them back inside. That said, this is definitely a huge improvement over just stuffing a bunch of them in a nylon bag. All right, 5 minutes into the video, I will finally show you the actual lure. Let me just show you the lure all around. The entire novelty is this hole in the belly here. The rest of the lure is not novelty. Actually, let's talk about the rest of the lure first, and then we will get to this hole in the body here. There are two ways to think about this lure, folks, if we forget about the hole for a second. The first way to think about this lure is that it's just a crappy magnet with a fat belly. That's all it is. It's a crappy magnet with a fat belly. The other way to think about this lure is, if you have seen the rest of their lures, they also have a lure called slab magnet and another lure called slab curly. And both of those lures have this exact same body, but without the hole. If I hide the tail here, this is the exact same body that you will see in the slab magnet and in the slab curly. But now we have a slab with a crappy magnet tail. And now, finally, here is the novelty introduced by this lure. The novelty is that you can add scent to your lure by adding one of these, what are they called? Crappy magnet slap bites that are actually just little niblets with some pretty strong scent. And let's first demonstrate how it works, and then we're going to talk about it. There is a hole here in the body, in the belly of the lure, and the hole is pretty close in size and dimension to the size and dimension of one of these crappy niblets. So the idea is to get the crappy niblet and insert it in the hole like so. Doing it, oh, look at this. Man, I was never able to do it so easy yesterday in the boat, but now here on camera, that went in pretty easy. So this is the novelty. Now we have scent in the body of the lure, and as you're fishing, the scent is coming out of the body of the lure, and now you have a scented lure. Now, you can say, Victor, if you go to Tackle Warehouse and you type lure scent, you're gonna get at least 30 products with all kinds of sprays and dip sauces where you can add scent to your lure. Adding scent to your lure is not any kind of novelty. Well, if you want to go there, what about Berkeley Power Bait and Kitech and Nico Worm? They're lures that come scented out of the box, so you don't need to spray them with nothing. You don't need to dip them in nothing. You don't need to shove glitter under your nails. So I guess it depends on the perspective, but I personally, my personal opinion is that this is definitely a cool idea. I don't know if this is the best application of the actual idea. For example, as soon as I saw this design, I thought, man, this hole should have been in the front of the lure. Even if it was in a little bit of an angle, like a 15 or 30 degree angle. For one, it would eliminate a lot of bad jokes on the boat. You guys can already kind of figure that out. But another reason would be that because the lure is moving forward, I think the scent niblet being on the back, it is easier to come out versus if it was on the front. And you can say, well, the scent will come out easier. I think even the scent will actually spread easier if the hole was on the front, because the water flow would be touching the niblet and it would be spreading scent out. Now the water flow doesn't really touch the hole here, and the only thing is it's kind of easier to fall off as you're moving the lure forward. If the hole is on the front, when you're moving it forward, the water pressure would be pushing it back in. Now in the real world, I can tell you that it almost never falls off without a fish. I think that it is possible that if you don't catch a single fish, you can fish with one niblet all day and it will still stay there. But I was just thinking that from aerodynamics and overall survivability of the niblet inside the body, it would be better if the hole was at the front of the lure. Like I said, even if that came at the expense of a little bit of an angle there. The length of this lure is 44-45 millimeters, which is pretty much exactly 1.75 inches. And as far as length alone goes, 1.75 inches is not much, because, you know, I fish for crappie a lot with the 2-inch Kitek, and this is even shorter than the 2-inch Kitek. However, when you hold these two lures in hand, the ROO just feels and looks like the bigger lure. And actually, if you calculate the volume of the two lures, I think that the ROO is made with more plastic than the 2-inch Kitek, because 2-inch Kitek is really thin. This here is thin. I know it's long, but it's just thin. And look at the cross section of this lure. The cross section of this lure, folks, is just enormous. It is a lot taller than the 2-inch Kitek, and it has to be, because otherwise how do you insert the niblet inside? To tell you the truth, if I have to fish for crappie with one of the two lures, the 2-inch Kitek, I know for a fact, is not too big, even for like 10, 11-inch crappie. But this lure, folks, it looks too big for crappie for me. Now, if you fish in, Mississippi, those monster crappie lakes, 12, 15, 16-inch crappie, yeah, this will be no problem for there. But these small lakes by my house, where most of the crappie is 9 and 10 inches, this is not a lure I will put on to fish for those dinky crappie. And let me tell you, this is definitely not a lure I would use even for trophy bluegill. I'm sure if you drag it in front of a bluegill bed, you're gonna eventually get something to open their mouth enough to swallow this, but this is, in my opinion, out of the question as a bluegill bait. I got one trout magnet here too, just to tell you, because this is my favorite bait for I don't know how many years. Can you compare this to a trout magnet? I mean, this is based on a crappie magnet, so it's not a fair comparison, but just to give you an idea, because This is to me the perfect trout, crappie, and bluegill bait as far as dimensions alone go. So yeah, this thing is huge. The packaging says great for trout, bass, and panfish. I don't know, you tell me, would you fish this for trout? Looks kind of big for trout, man. For panfish, maybe big crappie. To me, this bait, folks, is absolutely amazing for juvenile bass. Even for, I don't know, 2-3 pound bass. Because it looks like with this bulging belly, it looks like a fry. It looks like something that is just on top of the menu for a juvenile bass. And actually the other fish that this is absolutely perfect for, and this is a fact because I already made 2 videos with this lure, fishing for white bass in the winter. All right, folks, I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. The only thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you a close-up of each of the colors that I bought. So if you decide to try these lures, you know which color lure you want and which color niblets you want. So everything looks nice and pretty and makes you happy even before you cast them in the water. This here is the color that by far is my favorite. I bought 7 packs of this color. The name of this color is called Trick or Treat, and it's really a black top. Here is the color here. I'm going to show you each of them. It is a black top, you can see on this lure over here, with an orange belly. And let me show you, I fished with this one already. Let me show you how I installed it. I installed it on a Daiwa tungsten jig head. This is 2-gram tungsten with size 8 hook. And look, even a size 8 hook is not even close to exiting through the tails. I know when you buy their own jig heads, the hook exits through the tail here, but this must be some big wire jigs, folks. I think this is size 8 hook. This will be size 6 hook. Those are probably size 4 hook. So if even this for me is too much for a 10-inch crappie, I don't know, with those even bigger jig heads, how are you going to target small crappie? You better have some big crappie in your lake. Oh, the other thing is when you're buying this, think about what kind of jig head you're gonna put it on. When I was looking at this lure, I was thinking this is gonna need a black jig head. I have these Daiwa jig heads, they all come chrome color, but I paint them myself black because rarely I like chrome. I do have some chrome over there, I'll show you, but anyway, this is the first color. Let me go through all of them. Oh, this color definitely will require the orange niblets. I got only 2 color niblets, either silver flash or the orange always fits one of these lures. And this color is called, man, do they look good. They did great job with the colors. Almost all of their colors are amazing. This color is called Mardi Gras. Let me show you one piece out of it. Very beautiful high-vis color. Blue and silver flake on top, chartreuse belly. I got one of these installed too. I knew this was gonna be a great white bass color. I put it on a black, I put it on the exact same jig head, black. I painted it black though, with the gold hook. I think the gold hook looks kind of good with this exact lure, but again, look, size 8 hook is not even close to exiting through the back. But good looking white bass lure, isn't it? Next color is called Tennessee Shad, and to me it's not very beautiful, but I bought it specifically to fish it with my unpainted jig heads or with my chrome jig heads from Daiwa. Let me show you how I have it installed on a chrome jig head. You can see the chrome kind of blends with the belly of the lure, and all in all, It looks pretty good. Size 8 hook again. Didn't fish this color yesterday, but I'm sure it will do very well in clear water when I don't want too much contrast. Here is the next color. This one has a very descriptive name. It is called White Blue Silver Flash, which is exactly what it is. No silly name like Trick or Treat or Therapist. It is a beautiful lure, folks. I would personally fish this in clear water. Let me show you how I installed it. I installed it on a chrome jig head. I think it looks beautiful on a chrome jig head. Man, what a gorgeous color, folks. This one is absolutely my favorite winter color. The other one, black and orange, is my favorite spring and summer color, but this is just look at this gorgeousness, folks. Let me show you this. What is the name of this color? Midnight Rus or Midnight Rus. I'm not sure how you read that, but look at this color, folks. Absolutely gorgeous. I got this installed on my own jig heads. This is the 1.5 number 8. It's one of the colors that I used yesterday. Now I didn't catch, did I catch? Maybe I caught a couple of big ones, but I used it mostly in the lock and I was catching a smaller fish with it. Look at this fit, super glued, caught so many fish. You can see where the fish was grabbing. Oh, I forgot to talk about the niblets, folks. I'm sorry. This for sure will go perfect with the silver niblets. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite winter color. Look at this, folks. Look at this. All right, here is our next color. This one is called Killer Clut with double T, whatever the hell that means. Now this color, if I never fish with this color again, I still wouldn't care. But I bought it to fish it with my silver jig heads just because I wanted more than one color for my silver jig heads. And let me tell you, it looks pretty dang good in my opinion on my silver jig heads. But I found the other colors look nicer with my silver jig heads, so even if I wanted a natural color for clear water, I would use one of the other colors. But I don't know, now that I see it on camera, the Killer Clut, what do you guys think? It's not that bad, is it? Alright, here's another color that I don't care about very much. What is the name of this one? The name of this one is The Therapist. Why would The Therapist associate with purple and chartreuse? Now, purple and chartreuse is usually a good combination, but the other colors match with a jig head so good that, I don't know, you tell me what kind of jig head to put this Therapist on. Alright, this is our last color. The name of this one is Batla Gold. Now this one looks good, but I don't think it's a winter color. By the way, I'm certain I will run this on a, where is it? I'm certain I will run this on a chrome jig head with all of that bling, all of that silver flash inside. I'm gonna run this on a chrome jig head with one of these silver niblets. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. But yeah, I think I will fish this close to the grass in the spring for juvenile and maybe some adult spotted bass, smallmouth, largemouth, maybe some big crappie, maybe drum, catfish, everything. This one is actually pretty nice. I don't know. What do you guys think? Alright folks, this is the end of this video. These are the 6 colors that I have ready in my tackle box right now. They're all super glued. They all have the clips. I already fished with this color and this color yesterday, and you're gonna see 2 videos coming up with these lures real quick. And you know folks, I can't tell you that they catch a lot of fish or they don't catch fish. I'm not ready to comment on that, but I can tell you fishing a new lure like this and inserting the niblets inside. You know, the first few times you fish with this lure, I can promise you, you're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna see the videos when I fish with them. Just pay attention to the tone of my voice, and you can tell I had fun when I fished with these lures. You're gonna hear me screaming, "Go, ROO, go!" And I caught a ton of white bass. It's just something new. To tell you the truth, I can recommend these lures even without making the claim that they catch more fish or they catch less fish, just because they all come with gorgeous colors, and this idea here with the scent is kind of original. I don't know if it's worth buying 100 packs of them, but buying 5 or 6 packs and some niblets, I think will definitely get you some fun. So watch out for those 2 videos coming up. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.